What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Rakish Rovers. My name is Tom Quinn, resident dungeon master here at Modern Myth. But I know that it's these beautiful people, body shifted and all, that you are here to see. We are going to dive right into it in just 1 second.
But before we dive right into it, DM, the player character needs to say something. Hey, we've been really appreciating all the support we've been getting. Thank you guys so much. But if you could hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, the notification bell, it means the world to us. A lot of you have been jumping on board, and it's been amazing seeing the growth on this channel. And if you are so inclined, we also have a Patreon if you would like to help fuel our weird escapades with random beverages. Please hop on over there.
Excellent. Check that out at Patreon.com/ModMyth. But we're going to dive right back into it. Where we last left off, the party had foraged ahead through the lush jungles of this kind of strange dreamscape they have found themselves in, doing so in boots that are not their own. You may well notice, if you did not join us for the last several episodes, that these folks here are not in their normal seats and not in their normal bodies. So dealing with a little bit of that. But as they pushed deeper and deeper into the jungle, with the help of Cicero, their sort of snake man guide in this space, found their way to an underground tunnel network that could get them inside the city a little more incognito than just knocking on the front door. The heavy stone slab that obscured this doorway, or this passageway, I should say, slides shut behind them, the room falling completely dark as Kel had just begun blooming into light.
Kel's over there.
Sorry. It's taken all of us a little getting used to. As Kel had just bloomed into light, the sounds of screams and cackles echoing in the dark beyond, and a sort of unnatural, imposing darkness in this space. And that is where we will jump in. So with that said, the world is yours.
That's how you see Cal? This makes guttural noises?
Well, I believe there's nothing for it. We might just have to...
Before we keep going, I just want to make sure we're going in the right way.
Are there many more ways?
Astaire will pull out the map and just... It's not going the right way. It's looking ahead and seeing where we're going. God. And I'll look at the map and see, like, how many levels are there to the top? Is there, like, how long does this way go and before we start going up the ziggurat?
So this passage is tunneling beneath the outermost wall of this entire compound. So we're not even near the ziggurat. Yes. This is basically, there are a series of entrances into this civilized compound, this sort of expansive space where so much conflict is playing out. How far this will get you is anyone's guess.
Are we heading in the direction of the ziggurat?
Yes, you are. Yeah. And as far as your interactions with Cicero, you effectively, he basically left you with kind of the parting words that this is a dangerous passage, but not as dangerous as being on the surface right now.
Fair enough, as humans.
And you were made aware that these had at one point been old smugglers' tunnels. But as things close up behind you, you are confronted by a darkness that I will say is notably beyond simply the absence of light. There is a pressing of dark in this space, and as Kel blooms, were there any other light sources currently? I know that
no, I
know that right before we ended, you had started lighting things up yourself. Yeah. In that dim light, as you just take your very first steps into what is a pretty narrow corridor initially, you can see dripping is the word I'm going to use. It's difficult because it doesn't seem to have any mass or substance. This, what I would call anti-light, or the absence of light. It almost looks as though kind of a slime or something, but as you move forward, you can see kind of a band of it begin kind of stretching down and then slop off, but you don't hear the sound of it hit the ground, and as it does, it just kind of turns to a pool of shadow and begins kind of dissipating. But you can see all around you, kind of running down the walls, that the darkness that's in this place is beyond simply that of a unlit environment.
There's something weird going on here, guys.
Your powers of observation never stop to astound me.
Thanks.
Where are the screams coming from? Are they coming from above or in front of us?
They are very clearly echoing from somewhere in these tunnels. I mean, it is a very visceral response as it hits you, but in some cases it sounds like it's quite a ways off. Other cases it sounds like it's quite close, though you've seen no indication of what might be manifesting these screams. And until I hear otherwise, I will just assume that you guys are standing kind of just in this entryway.
2 quick questions. How is Ollie, confined as a silver dragon warbling?
I mean, he is in here, but he maxes out this tunnel pretty well right now.
I'll keep him just in case. Also, I'd like to check out the ooze to see if I can do I recognize it? Does it seem familiar to me?
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Check.
Oh, and that number's incorrect on the.
Oh, that's right. It's like a 9 here.
Yeah, two.
Since it's Arcana, I need to go sparkly.
That's right.
I'm even with my modifier, it's a 10 because it's +9.
Yeah.
That's a crit miss.
Reaching
You're
up to
Goes to dice jail.
kind of apprehensively interact with this, and kind of watching as you reach up, kind of looking this way, a bit of it that's a little more centered overhead. Kind of as you glance up, you feel it kind of hit the top of your face, and it feels almost like cold air as it hits you. But almost instantly as it hits you, kind of pluming into your face, there is a moment in which all of the light that is emanating from Kel goes dark. In fact, you can see absolutely nothing, and as it kind of dissipates, drifting down towards the ground, the best way that you could describe that interaction is it is darkness given substance itself. But beyond that, there's really nothing to be gleaned.
I'm gonna draw my weapons and light up Lightbringer.
Okay, that blooms into flame, and between the glow of Kel and Lightbringer, the passage illuminates itself a little bit more thoroughly, just so you can really just kind of, it's a narrow passage, but optically you basically have these kind of bands of specularity painted onto the walls to either side, and it's a matter of feet beyond that on the wall where the world simply goes, like, for all you know, you could be walking off of a cliff. It's that dark beyond there's no gradient to the quality of light. It simply is what it is, and anything beyond that seems to be just suffocated out visibly. Again, in the distance you can hear
So something of an arcane nature going on here?
Yes. I don't know. It's hard to access your memories, but yeah, when it hit, the drops hit, it was I could tell it was like a spell that made me blind, and as soon as it went away, so did the spell. So I would not touch this liquid. It seems to blind oneself.
Okay.
Well, I think there's nothing for it.
Should
Well-
we head forward then?
Let's go.
Kel, I think, what are you going by these days?
Kelt.
Kelt.
Kels, I think you should take the lead. As is protocol.
I'm on it.
What is the official marching order as you're moving through
Good
this
question.
dungeon? I will assume you are
I-
moving in that way.
I am,
Is
of
it-
course, the tip of the spear.
Naturally. Is the
So
corridor wide enough for 2x2s, or is
of
it...
you guys, it is. And Ollie, just given like some of the wingspan, that wingspan that he has kind of fills the space out a little bit more. You could probably still squeeze the alongside Ollie, but
Then I shall walk with you. We are in your aura, are we not?
I think as long as you're within
10 feet.
10 feet of me.
Mhm.
and the passageway itself, at least at this point, probably only stands about 10 feet wide.
So
Oh.
it'll be Celt first then. What's your name?
Forget. Was it Caster?
Casta, and
I
then
don't remember.
Astaire, and then Ollie at the end, bringing up the rear.
Okay, Ollie's bringing up the rear. All right.
Is it possible to engage the tunnel fighter stance, or do I need to be standing for that? Like, still.
You can't ready a bonus action, can you?
Like, can I
Yeah,
just? Okay.
Yeah, no, you'll just have to.
You could ready a block action.
Should that come into play, you'll have to do it then.
And Lightbringer gives 5 feet of visibility, or more.
10 feet.
10 feet.
I have a
Okay.
Jafar staff.
You do have a Jafar
Yeah, the
staff.
Jafar
What does Jafar staff do?
It's nothing like Jafar.
Oh, I forgot. It does do something.
I'll look it up later. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Where is it?
I guess pulling my shield up, yeah, I'll ready the block action and begin moving forward.
Let us get this over with.
Pushing forward, the aroma, kind of the ancient dusty smell of this place, and as you the first thing that kind of blooms into existence as you move, kind of as you approach, you can see a couple of discarded, what look like maybe sacks of grain, mostly empty, if not entirely empty.
Can I poke
You
it
can
with
see
my spear?
Sure. You do so, and
Does anything come out? I mean, is it anything happen?
as you jab at it, you see kind of the sack, which is, like I said, almost entirely empty, kind of slump over a little bit more, but remains mundane in its.
Turning to Aster. Caster.
Better safe than sorry.
You don't just poke everything you see. Oh my god, is that what I'm like?
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
Not long after, on the other side, these are kind of all pushed up against the corridor walls. You can see a small crate, the lid not currently present, sits empty, but you can see again kind of a thick gathering of dust up and around the edges. 3/4 of an inch worth of dust that's kind of gathered in this place. It's not long before you come to a T-junction where the corridor splits. You can either travel right or left, and given the lighting that you have, you cannot see anything in either direction beyond.
Is there any evidence of, like rat droppings or some sorts of rodent life or things existing in here?
As you are examining, and this is more or less right at your footfalls. I mean, it's literally that oppressive with light that's about where you can examine. You can see that for the most part, you can see the occasional stone that's kind of been cobbled into this walkway, but almost entirely this has kind of been dug out underneath. You see kind of a sandy clay packed floor, but the any indication, be it tracks, droppings, that anything is living down here, are not forthcoming. You don't see anything that would lead you to believe that anything has been moving through these tunnels recently.
Can I smell either? Take the Gandalf the Grey's advice and follow my nose? Can I left or like? Is there a smell in either direction?
Excellent question. Taking a sniff, kind of in either direction. There is to the right a slightly sweet aroma, still that heavy kind of dust, but there's something
Sickly sweet or like sweet?
sickly sweet is not a bad descriptor. There's something that's just a little and the more you acknowledge it, it begins to almost irritate your nose a little bit. There's kind of a tinge to it that initially kind of reads as this sweetness, but the more you're kind of engaging with it, the more you notice that it kind of has this almost this kind of Vicks vapor rub feeling, this kind of you can kind of feel your nasal passage opened up a little bit.
Right.
The other direction more or less smells like
neutral.
There is a kind of a general old book wood.
Was there anything in the crate, or have we passed it?
You have passed it, but it was very clearly, as you were passing it, you could see that it was the husk of a crate. The lid was off of it, and there was nothing present inside.
Gotcha. Well, I do believe Ollie might, maybe, can he see further than we can?
Yeah, Ollie does have dark vision. It can see things to 120 feet. It has blind sense, not that that helps in this current situation.
Is it really 120?
No, I'm just making that shit up.
I think it's 60.
That makes more sense.
Double what it actually is. No big deal.
Min maxing.
Very
I mean, it
believable.
definitely is absolutely 120 feet.
As you kind of, as this thought blooms in your head, you almost kind of discover it. This pulse of color in your mind, and it's that thought is kind of tethered to this telepathic link. And as you acknowledge it, there's a moment where kind of blinking, you can see through Ollie's vision. Despite the dark vision, you can tell that even that is being suppressed to some extent. Now you do see better through his eyes, but there is a pretty steep limitation on that. Looking to the left, Ollie can see that passage doesn't go long before it turns to the right again, a 90-degree turn, and continues in the original direction, that one that you've been traveling. To the right, he just sees the passage continue on. He cannot see anything notable about the passage to the right.
Well, I've seen Aster cast that spell that lets us see things. I bet I could do the same. If we want to, I could do that and get a reconnaissance mission. But I feel like the left hand, I could pretty much guarantee that I feel like the left hand is a better path to take at the moment.
Well, we are pressed for time.
That's what I'm thinking.
Perhaps, we should go.
What do you think, Kelt?
Oh, that sounds good to me. Any direction forward's good.
Yes, good. You understand now. Let's go left.
Turning left, you travel about it's roughly about 30 feet or so before you come to that elbow, which turns you back to the right. And as you make that turn, you find yourself staring down a elongated room, not much different than the corridors themselves, though this has clearly been carved out a fair bit wider, and you can see almost immediately that this room has, and this is just in the entryway, you can't really see beyond that, you can see in the nearmost left-hand corner a stack of crates and barrels. Just beyond that, which is the limitation of your vision, you can see that there's an overturned barrel which lies, the lid still in place, a couple of what again also look like grain sacks, a quite populated space given what you've seen so far, though at first glance appears to be pretty mundane in the items that are here. A storeroom, perhaps.
Is there like a layer of dust Seems undisturbed.
There is a substantial, like I said, 3/4 inch of dust on pretty much everything in this space. You make note, however, that there are a number of crates, 2 in particular, in the nearest pile. The one that's just to your left inside the room, that are absent of dust or have a very, very small amount comparatively.
Is there any footprints, or do we hear any breathing or any evidence of someone in here?
Give me a perception check.
As we're walking along, as soon as the floor is kind of dirty, I want to just drag the spear almost as a with a line in the sand to just kind of give us a place to follow if we need to return.
We do have chalk.
But it's dirt, and I've got a spear that I can just drag.
Cool. So at what point do you want to start dragging?
As soon as we turn left, I think that it starts getting gravelly and dirty.
Then we turn right.
Well,
Turn
we
left
hit the
and
T
then
junction. You went left.
The
and that
T we
immediately
went left,
turned
and
you
then
right.
Okay,
it went
good,
right.
okay.
But yeah, I think both of them became dirt, right?
This is the whole room has been dirt. Or since you entered this corridor, it's all dirt.
Well, I want to just drag it a little bit, so it's like a
Yeah.
string
Okay.
keeping our
So yeah,
course.
moving forward, you want to go ahead and be planning on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're dulling the blade.
As you
I'm just doing the butt of the spear, not the blade.
Oh, the butt. Okay, that's
okay.
Cal, I believe that you can. I don't understand. Magically move things in the earth. Can you not?
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
I mean, you don't have to necessarily drag your spear. Maybe you might need it at the ready.
I don't know what kind of spell slot that costs, and I don't have much left.
What
so
is-
Oh, okay.
I get you, but I also don't know what resources I have
Oh,
left,
fair.
really. So this whole magic thing is very new to me. So it's still a work in progress.
I can tell you, it doesn't take much work. It's almost like you feel the earth and you understand that it needs to move, and the earth moves at your command.
But then I have to concentrate, so if anything hits me, then it's just gone. So if I just leave a line in the
once
sand...
you move it, it's moved. But if you want to, once it's moved, it's moved. It's not like if you unconcentrate, the dirt moves back.
Oh, that was my assumption.
Yeah,
It's
no, you can
it just-
build trenches and shit with molder.
There's graves all across the
I know.
world.
All of a sudden open up. I've been concentrating for 5 years.
It's too much. It's too much.
No, yeah.
So,
That's a concentration spell?
oh,
It
I
might
don't
be.
know. I don't know. It just only one.
Sorry, I
it
don't mean to take up your
specifically
time.
says one concentration effect at a time on the card.
That just means, you can't like go crazy with it, but so you move one stack of earth, then you move the next stack of earth, next stack of earth. You can't go like insane with it.
I'm just trying to understand notes, y'all.
Hey, don't be showing my handwriting. Did a 3rd grader write that? Yeah.
All right. So what are you doing?
I rolled a 23 on perception.
Listening into the room in terms of noting any tracks or anything like that, you don't make note of anything immediately. Again, you have a very limited space that you can actually make that assessment, but listening into the room, there's a moment of stillness, of quiet, where you can hear a drip, drip, the sound of a drop of water maybe every 5-6 seconds. And you can hear it seems to be dripping into a pool of water of some kind, that you can definitively hear as you take a moment of silence. Beyond that, you don't hear anything else.
Do you hear that?
No, what do your elf ears hear?
Bitch slap. Excuse me. That was uncouth.
I understand that word. I know what that word means.
There's a meltdown.
Can I tell where in the room it's coming from?
If you had to guess, you would. It's clearly at the far end of the room. So this room is, elongated and in parallel with the direction you would be traveling coming into it. How long the room is, you have no idea because your limited vision. But it sounds like it's a little ways off. It's a little bit hard to hear from where you're at.
Okay.
So it's definitely far off. And if you had to guess, it's somewhere on the left-hand side of the room.
Okay. I believe it's a ways off up there, over maybe to the left, but
Okay.
there's something liquid. Something is dripping.
I wonder if it's that magical liquid that causes the darkness, the blindness.
Well, we haven't heard anything thus far. Yes.
No, that's true. It just dripped. I didn't hear it. It's a very good observation. While we're talking about observations, I can't help but notice these two barrels don't seem to have the dirt settled on it like the others. I wonder if something might be inside of it.
Secret door.
Secret tunnel.
You're just playing Cal as a person with
Nice.
Tourette's.
I've been waiting for that.
Oh.
I will. Can I? Is the lid bolted on or anything funky, or can we just?
The lids are on in place. You would need to pry the lids off. Yes.
You do have a crowbar in the bag of holding, which you have.
Okay. I will get out the crowbar from the wee bag of holding. Here, you're the best suited for this.
Okay, I'll set the spear down and probably my shield. I think you need 2 hands for this, so.
I'll hold them for you.
Is there an obvious space where the crowbar can go?
Well, it's a crate. So.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
crate. Sorry.
Yeah.
I only half heard everything we're talking about, so.
Perfect.
You
are playing-
You are playing
Done.
Kel to a
To a
frightening level of RP right
I'm just gonna start taking it and look to my friends. It's like,
Like if they yell at me, then I'm gonna
this
stop.
is right.
Thankfully,
No,
you fear nothing.
as
I know. No fear.
no, I mean seeing the top of the crate, you wedge the crowbar in, and the crate is quite old. The wood is pretty brittle, and as you pop the lid, it lifts up, kind of slumping off to the side. You hear kind of clatter echoing down the chamber and giving you your first taste of maybe how long this chamber is. That kind of reverberation that carries down is not insubstantial. Glancing into the crate, you can see what looked like maybe it had been a food ration at some point, but it's almost just dust now. It is so so deteriorated by time that you can still see again like little bits and pieces of what may have been grain stock at some point, but mostly it's like a fine silt in the bottom of this. You get this the scent of what might be like a barley or a wheat, or but it doesn't strike you as being in the state in which it was originally stored.
So if I understand correctly, this and another or a couple crates don't
So
have-
the stack of crates that kind of fill out this corner, the forwardmost crate, which she just opened, and you can see the crate that's behind that crate also. Both of those crates are notably less dust laden.
So strange question then, I guess. Is it possible, or are there kind of creases in the dust where there used to be crates on top of it preventing dust that got removed? Like, is there evidence in the dust of something like that?
There doesn't seem to be any evidence that anything necessarily was removed, though looking at the dust that is settled around these crates, you can see that there seems to be kind of the thick layer that is built up around it does seem disturbed to slightly to either side of this crate, as though it has potentially been moved.
Look, dust. Looks disturbed.
It does. Good eye.
I do have a good eye.
So we should move the crate to see if there's anything underneath. Is that?
I'll lift the crate.
This is the one you've already popped the lid off of?
Sure.
Okay. Lifting it up, you can feel like a structural lack of soundness. It's got, again, the wood is like, and it's surprisingly light as you pick it up. This wood has deteriorated a fair bit down here. No indication of rot or anything like that, but as you pick it up, it's almost got this pseudo balsa wood characteristic to it. It's like, it's just unbelievable how light it is. Underneath it, and more appropriately behind it, the next crate you can see equally unblemished by dust compared to the other. But as you lift it up, the crates underneath, you can see kind of a footprint where this crate had been. Though that footprint seems to elongate beyond, the absence of dust seems to extend toward the wall beyond the crate itself that you just lifted.
Think there's something behind all these crates?
I don't know.
No. Only one way to find out. Do you mind lifting more crates?
I'll move the crates.
Should we open them first, maybe?
Well, that's a good idea. Don't want to lift something you don't know what's inside of it.
Right.
So yeah. Kel? Chop chop.
Are we all incapable of opening crates? Here, open this.
I'm sorry, I don't have an aura around me right now. I'm in this frail wizard body that could die at any moment.
What comes with being the muscle on the team?
Yeah. Welcome to being the bitch.
How many crates do I have to open now?
That's entirely up to you.
I thought it was
how
like
many-
a line back.
How many
Well,
are there?
there's one more crate that stands between the first one that you did and the wall behind it.
Oh, that's it? Okay,
And,
so one
wait,
more.
and the elongation. So if I'm understanding correctly, the quote unquote footprint of dust is larger than the crate we just opened, going back
Yes, the wall.
towards the
Toward
wall.
toward the second crate.
Yeah,
towards
so I
the
want to. Yes.
So there was, assuming there was presumably a larger crate here originally,
We're just exploring.
or it was dragged.
It could be that.
Okay, so
Then why would they cover the spot?
is there anything on top of that crate, the one further behind?
No.
Okay, let's open that one.
Okay, it's open.
Popping the crate open.
Just be more excited about this. This is what you get to do.
But-
Be excited about this.
Much
Just wait till combat, then you get excited again.
much
This
the
is
same.
like
You find a similar, like I said, likely some sort of grain that had been stored here, but has essentially withered to dust.
I wonder if these were placed here as some sort of diversion or something. Can we move it? Can I
It's a
help you move it?
smuggler's tunnel, so yeah, let's go check out that door.
What?
There's a door?
There's a door?
There's definitely gonna be a door, some secret hidden passageway. I mean, let's go
it
check
might
out
very
what's
well
going
be
on over here.
Behind this one.
Yeah, let's keep. I don't know what door Kelt is talking about.
If it's light, can I pick up the second crate?
Sure. As you reach to grab it, you are surprised that, for its size, it moves with relative ease.
You see what I mean?
Well, I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Sliding the crate off, you can see a definitive switch on the wall behind.
Now, before we flick it, do not
Who
move.
fucking
Sorry.
told
Internet.
you?
Wait, I thought you said that. What?
Secret tunnel.
Oh,
Secret
Secret
tunnel.
Oh, secret doors. Same
Secret
diff.
All right.
Ah, I miss Avatar. We need to watch Avatar again. Before we start flicking switches.
I'm flicking the switch.
No.
I'm reaching for it.
Cal will,
Aster
Aster will
can
slap
say-
his step.
I don't see a slap being able to stop her from. I mean, if you're intending on flicking
I'll
it, then-
straight up tackle. Yes.
I just
gonna
need to know what you're
tackle.
doing.
I'm
Are
going for the switch.
All right, I'll tackle.
Okay, just give me a grapple check.
Well, that's what
Alistair,
Cal would have
he
done.
Bless me.
I need. You don't have many like I'm a baller dice.
Question
Do you,
in that.
no, muscle
Silver.
dice? Because you're a wizard.
8
I don't know if you know this.
plus 0.
What is this? My athletics or just
Yeah.
a strength?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you beat me on the dice period, you win. You don't even need to look it up.
It's really important that I look it up. Though.
You beat me.
19.
Ooh.
So 8 versus 19.
No, I'm sorry. It's 20. It's because it's +7. So.
Doing your best and really realizing some of the limitations of this
Welcome
new
to me.
form
Right.
as you kind of leaping out, fully expecting to kind of like slam in and drag her to the ground. You find your legs don't come back to make contact to the ground, kind of arms wrapped around as
You give her a hug.
your own hulking form kind of takes one full stride, reaches across and goes and you hear kind of a
I'm gonna get down on the floor.
and much deeper into the room you can hear the sound of grinding stone and crumbling earth.
Damn it, Kelt! And then I will take my dagger and try to stab.
You don't have it.
Yeah, I have it.
Kelt
'Cause
took-
you threw it
Kelt
at
took
me.
it from you.
You threw it.
I use my Jafar staff. What does the Jafar staff do?
It does all your magic.
No, he does have like a special ability.
Oh yeah, it's
Is it
somewhere.
OneNote?
It's somewhere in one.
For the record, it's not a Jafar staff.
Pretty sure it's a Jafar
If
stuff.
you-
Is it a staff that has a snake
Shut it!
head that?
Shut it. Let's continue on. I heard a noise.
If you go into my inventory,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm
yes.
looking at it.
And I don't know if it does anything helpful, but
No, I just want to know just so I know what I can do.
very well. And did that grinding stone sound as distant as the drips?
It did. In fact, you make definitive note that with the sound of that grinding, the dripping sound becomes far more audible.
You're welcome.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I guess we had to do something, so,
Just
perhaps-
because a door magically opens doesn't mean that's the
Alright.
door we go through.
Yes. We must continue moving.
Yes. So we're going. If we were to enter the room, we're going to keep going straight.
You can't even see where it opened. I mean, you're talking about the room.
The storage
Yeah.
room.
The storage room is, basically you turned that right-hand corner, and this room is basically just a widening of the passage.
Okay.
This room is about
Long
2.5 times the width,
Okay.
but continuing on.
Are the sides kind of lined with boxes and
Yes.
storage?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as far as you can see so far, you can only see, like I said,
Right.
about 10, 15 feet into the
Okay.
room. So
Best keep our eyes on a swivel then. And
Yeah, let's see if we can
what's
find any more
forward.
boxes that are disturbed.
Can I, as we move, I would like to watch the boxes for any movement, and just I don't want to be ambushed.
gotcha. Keeping your eyes peeled for any movement.
My weapons are drawn. I give you back your spear and shield. So
Alrighty then. And take point and block action and move forward.
Okay. It's on about the third step. You hear the twing of a wire
Oh shit!
snap. And
Get down.
almost immediately you can hear a
Duck.
as running down the length of the room, a barrage of kind of hewn shrapnel, albeit it's really essentially invisible right until the moment that it hits. I need a dex save, everybody.
alright.
Dex. I need something light. Something light. Light.
Really good. So you should.
I haven't rolled above a fucking 10 yet.
Oh, glory.
I don't like this body.
13. Wait, no.
Plus 10.
Are we within 10 feet of you?
Yeah, well, I assume you guys are close to me.
3.
So
No.
it's a
Yeah, you guys should, if you're in marching order, you're all
Does the dodge action give advantage on dex rolls? I can't
Yes,
find it. Okay.
does.
Yeah, no, 13.
13 as well.
Hold
Ooh.
on.
Well, I'm also going to adjudicate that your dodge/block action is not applicable here.
That's fine.
So
Just the first roll, which is fine because it was my higher.
And keep going. I don't know if I need to roll for
It's 11.
Ollie.
yes, Ollie will need a
It's
roll.
10 plus whatever the dex modifier is.
It's that. Yeah.
I'm glad you're organized. It really helps.
What was yours?
13.
13.
11.
13 as well, and 10 for Ollie.
The twing kind of coursing through the room, almost sounding like a broken guitar string. And as it does, there's a moment where kind of everyone freezes momentarily, going like, I think I know, like my ear is registering that, and my brain is starting to put together what that is, and it's the rush kind of wind as running down this chamber. These, like I said, what must be carved bone or chitin or something that has been hewn into these kind of triangular slivers that jettison both directions down these walls. Nobody saves.
Yeah.
Farts. Fart.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot.
Aren't you the rogue?
I'm the rogue.
Do your job.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
For 18 piercing damage
On everyone.
That's only spell damage. Okay.
Yeah, always put that.
on.
Can I react to that? Is
Yeah,
it
that's
an
uncanny
attack?
job. Yep.
It's not an attack, no.
Okay.
So, frankly, with the phrase "uncanny dodge," I've always been kind of a fan of being able to.
Yeah.
I would happily adjudicate that for a trap. I would allow it. I feel like that's part of being
18.
roguey and
Yeah.
you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
I'll,
okay.
if you want to use your uncanny.
Oh boy. So that's just half damage, right?
Yep. And I need a con save from everybody.
Poison. How much
As-
was it again? 18?
Yes, 18.
Jesus.
As it rakes down your body, lacerations opening up, just kind of almost the equivalent of like bird shot, kind of, albeit not little ball bearing style, more like again these kind of sharpened pieces of bone. And I need a con save from everyone.
Oh, witness me.
Ooh, big saver.
I'm going to try my favored by the gods because my roll is so low. Dear God, I
Okay, how do you work D&D Beyond? This is why you need pen and paper, people. Fuck this. I'll just write it down.
A staggering endorsement for the people at Wizards of the Coast.
I'm sorry, Wizards of the Coast. I love you. If you ever want to...
You're
That's-
old school.
You can shit on D&D Beyond if that's what you want to do. I mean, two out of three. You know, like I feel like that gives us that lends us an air of legitimacy.
Anyway.
These guys aren't just sucking Watsy's dick. So.
Until they give us money.
3.
Fuck, dude. I haven't rolled above a 7
I
yet.
rolled a
It's your
3 too.
frail wizardly form that you're not used to.
Yeah, fine. All right, poison me, bitch. Just let me have it.
What was yours?
11.
And what was Ollie's?
Ooh, good question. Save. 18 on the die.
Kel and Aster.
Gotta use our new names, dude.
Kelt and Aster each take 12 poison damage.
Yikes.
And Aster is poisoned. Kel is immune. Yes? No. No, you have. I'm thinking of disease.
Yeah.
You are both poisoned.
They're both
as
For
well.
poisoned.
12?
12 poison damage and then poisoned.
Oh dear.
Fuck.
I just figured out D&D Beyond is not as bad as I thought it was.
Okay.
Way to get us back on track.
Give us money, please.
Wow.
Get me.
Feeling
Get
the
me.
wave of
Shameless.
poison that I'm probably very familiar with at this point. I will go ahead and touch myself for 5, and I'll slap Astaire really hard on the back for another 5.
Sweet, so no longer poisoned. And we don't get any hit points for that. That's just
Nope.
removing the condition.
Yep.
Okay. Poisoned
Paladin.
condition is removed, albeit kind of clutching at the. They're relatively surface level, but just the disjunctured pattern that those barbed, sharpened pieces traveled opened up all sorts of surface lacerations. Kind of.
I didn't appreciate that.
Are you two okay?
It's a weird ask, but is there any way you could help us out here? And I will cast Aura of Vitality.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
What does this do?
That's one of my big spells.
That's not the one where you can adjudicate. Like,
Well, she's hurting. I'm
Yeah.
hurting. I assume you're hurting.
I'm
so
half. I'm not quite.
I don't know
ready.
what else we're getting into, but I don't want to die
So
in
yes,
here.
this is so we can heal without taking a short rest.
So, yeah, 30-foot radius. Aura moves with you, center on you. You can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura to regain 2d6 hit points.
This is one where the trick with this is you move in and out of the bubble and you can heal continuously.
What's the duration?
a turn, right?
Up to a minute.
Minute, so 10 turns, excuse me.
So so with us moving in and out of the.
Right.
Can everybody roll 3 dice and we'll have 1 left over, basically?
Oh, then I'll have Ollie.
You guys are just standing there for a minute and.
Yeah.
yourselves up?
I mean,
Yep.
that's where
Can I
I'm
get
at.
Ollie in on this action too?
Yeah.
Very cool.
How bad is he hurt?
Ollie is hurting bad, so
All right.
He's taking some hits. So it's 1d6.
So everybody roll. So it's 2d6, but we can do it 10 times between all of us. Is that right? A total?
I
2,
don't
4,
remember
6,
what
8. So if everybody rolls
46.
4d6, we'll see where we're at.
Okay.
11,
Nice.
13, 17, like that.
10. Lame.
Plus 6 is 16.
All right, I take it back. D&D and Beyond. That's pretty sick. All right, now for Ollie.
Fucking sellout, man.
No, I don't have to do math anymore. I just put in the number that it did to me. I said, is it damage or is it healing?
You're ruined now, dude.
Yep.
Like, what happens when you go back into your seat and you got to pump all this information in D&D Beyond?
No, I'm not gonna pump it in. No, I
We'll see.
I will die in the
We'll
grave that
I
pen
only
and
got
paper is the way you
10
should play this
out of
game.
all
But
4.
Are you still hurting? Pretty good.
I
It's
am
the,
at.
it's the right way.
it is the
only
right way.
I would say about 3/4.
I'm doing very well, and Ollie's not doing super great. But can you cast it? Like, can you pump another round?
Well, I've done 8 of 10. So basically there's 2 more 2d6s.
Oh, do you want it?
How are you?
I could use another round.
All right. I'm
then,
good.
Then go ahead. I can use my one.
You can poke yourself.
Well, I mean, I would say both of us.
Oh, okay.
And that would finish us out.
That's good.
All right. So 2d6. Oh yes.
No.
I feel crit.
Are you doing 2d6 or 46?
Oh,
Is it 2d6?
It's 2d6, right?
yes,
Yeah.
sorry. I'll reroll that because that was wrong. Okay. Okay,
Average.
I feel better.
Above average.
It's
above average.
Above average. I'm coping.
the soothing
Yes, you're getting it.
energy of the aura is a nice reprieve, and kind of you don't realize how imposing the darkness is in this place until you stop and take. I mean, your eyes can be honed in on what's coming into view over here, what's coming into view, but when you kind of stop and realize it's in that moment as you guys are kind of licking your wounds a little bit that you realize this whole time that you've been in here, you've been hunching. You could reach straight up over your head and nothing. There's no ceiling, nothing. But there's this sense that you might catch your head on something. I mean, just almost physically weighing down on you, and the the subtle warmth, the gentle sensation of that aura is broken by a voice from behind you, kind of echoing not just in this chamber but throughout the entirety of this space.
You don't belong here.
I'll turn around. What do I see?
Mustering as much luminescence as you can, darkness on darkness, you can just faintly make out the kind of shadowy form of a figure, more or less humanoid. And as your eyes focus in on it, it's difficult to say if that's where the voice is coming from. You watch as this thing kind of twitches and flits, a leg kind of springing up and setting itself back down, 4 or 5 feet, kind of disjunctured off to the side before it kind of pulls into that position.
Okay, I push through the team and I block action and tunnel fighter if I can.
Stepping forward and kind of posting yourself up, another kind of echo, almost like thunder rolling through the chamber.
Can I check our 6?
Absolutely. Glancing back over your shoulder, raising Lightbringer to provide you any kind of vantage. Blackness is, you only get about 10 feet worth of vision, but it's just darkness.
Okay.
Can Ollie
Post
see?
Uh, what's Ollie looking at?
The rear to see if anything's attacking from the other side.
Glancing back and beaming that information to you, you can see a series of other cargo and loot that's kind of been piled
Boxes.
up. You can also see the termination point of this chamber.
Okay.
You don't see anything moving or alive,
Okay.
but you do see on the left-hand side of that chamber kind of a gnarly carved out entryway.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Again, kind of the rumble moving through this space.
Right.
She chose poorly. Show them.
And you watch as the thing kind of another twitch, and that elongated kind of leg raising up like out of sight vertically and kind of slipping down. You watch as this, stretching out to a sliver point, kind of touching down beside you, and in an instant, this thing kind of pulling up alongside you. The face peeling back. Your deal will absolutely
I was
trigger.
gonna say, do I get
But
to
you can see kind of the face peeling back. And as you loose that spear, there's a definitive moment in which you recognize this figure.
Who is it?
Go and roll.
It's a dreamscape though, so
I'm remembering something that happened earlier. I'll keep it to myself.
See how illustrated you guys are doing?
not too shabby. All right.
What's your attack bonus, bud? Was fear plus 8, so 20?
Lurching out, and immediately, it's the equivalent of the instant before a baseball has made contact with the sweet spot of a bat. You know, before the spear has even made contact, that you've got this thing. And as your body goes through these motions that still feel a little foreign to you, it's, the weight with which you can throw.
Sorry, pause. I see the +1 spear, but then there's the lion's tooth. Is that the dagger? So
Lion's
is it,
tooth is a spear, so it is a +1 weapon.
Yeah,
So-
he just had it mounted.
is it a +9 then? Or is it a +8?
It's +4
Because you have
for
a
your
+1
proficiency.
spear, but
It's
you have a
+9.
+1. Okay.
Because of proficiency.
So 21. I just want to make sure that we're Getting all those points in there.
Right?
Jutting forward, the shadowy form, you know before you've made contact that this is going to be a hit. You just feel it. And as the spear lurches forward, that moment of contact, you're fully expecting very little resistance given the kind of amorphous, shadowy thing that this is. But as it does, you feel and hear the groan of metal as it pings, and in an instant, shielding your eyes, you find yourself in a well-lit, or at least much better lit than you just were, courtyard. Drawing the spear back, you can see that a figure lies in front of you. You can see the scratch along their armor where the spear had made contact. A man lowers a torch down and ignites what is very clearly a funeral pyre, and this figure that lays before you. The flames begin licking up. You recognize this figure, but you draw into weird, deep parts of your memory, places that seem foreign to you as you're navigating them.
These men, are they actual men or are they snake men?
They are men. Absolutely, they are men.
Okay, and the man that has his scratch is the one on the pyre?
Yes, and quite clearly deceased. The flames licking upward through this funeral pyre, and as that grows, kind of the crackle, the roar of that flame begins to gain an intensity that seems otherworldly as this pyre continues to burn. Your eyes squint, and kind of through the haze, through the shimmer of heat, you can see men well adorned, drunk on wine, laughing, cheersing one another. You can feel blood in your veins boiling, and your attention is only pulled away as the figure who's on the pyre kind of sits up, lurching upright. His head kind of slumps, and you can see the flesh begin sloughing off of his jaw, off of his face. He clatters up onto his feet, and he watches another and another, this expansive pyre, so many dead in front of you. And glancing around, you can see that this man, the flowing red cape that he wears, is already burned almost entirely to cinders. Looking to your left and your right, you can see other men begin failing in panic, turning and fleeing, and in a instant, you are the only one who remains. And the figure, kind of a shambling, limping step in your direction, dragging one foot behind. The second step, you watch the dragged foot kind of collapse off, the brittle bone turning to ash as it falls to the ground. Unmoving, the figure almost nose to nose. I mean, you can feel the displacement of air. It's so close as you watch portions of his face melting away beneath the armor.
You did this. Look at you. Look at you. Traitor. Deserter.
He opens his mouth as if to scream, lurching in your direction, almost as if to bite you, an unnaturally wide opening. And in that instant, you're shrouded in darkness again. You can feel the spear trembling in your hand, your body betraying you. The adrenaline coursing through you is not your own. And the room is silent.
What did we see?
Yeah, what do we see?
you watched as she lunged forward with the spear, this strange shadow being dissipating, much like that substance that has been dripping through this chamber. And as you come back to, and as you guys watch this shadow kind of just dissipate to mist,
Welcome, sapiens.
rumbles through the chamber and things fall silent.
Cal, are you alright?
Kelt. What did you see?
I love that subtle correction.
I know. You realize we're the only three in here, right? Okay, cool.
Because I'm Kel, but not. I'm Astaire. I'm something else. And by the way, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Anyway.
Aster will purely be existing in a quoting of
Astaire.
Oh,
You seem
my apologies.
disturbed. What happened?
I think I get it.
What? Do you know what we are? Do you know what this puzzle contains? Where are we going? What's happening?
I think it'll come for each of us. But it started with you, Kel, because you're the strongest of us.
You know what? It went for you first.
You mean the shadow being?
It's preying on our fear.
Are you?
Perhaps regret.
What did you see?
Horus on a pyre.
It was Horace?
That's
No.
who I'm getting. A man in red. Okay, I'm making leaps.
There we go. There we go.
Man in red. Being burned at the pyre. Funeral pyre. Men happy, cheering. But he rose from the pyre.
I rose?
No,
The body rose?
the body rose.
Wearing red. There was a celebration.
Celebration of
Can you tell me anything else from the vision you saw?
He approached me. Called me a traitor.
Called me a traitor.
Called you a traitor.
Wearing red. This is troubling indeed. Oh, whatever we're in store for, we must be on our guard. It's not just attacking us physically, they will attack us psychologically.
Is
That's
this
just what I said.
Is this
No, you didn't.
But I see that you're making a point to make me seem stupider than I am.
Welcome to being Cal.
I find it very interesting that you're self-deprecating outside of yourself. So
I'm gonna deal with this all later.
I don't think you will. Not when you're back in your body.
okay?
Nope.
You two.
You guys are nailing the Kel Aster dynamic.
Separate you. Asta, isn't what's happening of an arcane nature? Can something be done to stop it or defend against it?
We are. It feels, from what I understand, we're in almost a dream state that is in complete control of Sirkar. So, to fight against what is in control is going to be almost impossible. But it's not in complete control yet, so we can still go. But I don't think we can stop until we reach and cleanse this area. We're going to have to face against these things. We just must be strong and persevere.
Well,
As this conversation's playing, can I just get a wisdom check? I'm sorry, wisdom save.
Which you are trained in.
Can Alistair guide me?
No. He didn't say so beforehand. And it only does not count for saving throws. It's only ability checks.
Oh, okay.
Rules lawyer, you'll get caught up in the...
Don't worry, it's a 15 on the dice.
Then you're fine.
Hey,
You're trained
so
in
wise.
and you have +4. You're
You're
good.
so wise.
It's a 20.
All right.
Wait, +4 plus the 1 or +4 total?
+4 +1.
Okay, yeah.
And your proficiency bonus. You're trained in it.
24.
Yeah,
So
you're
right
if you 20 beats it, 24 beats it.
The
It's important that it's...
silence that is returned to the room or for you guys for the most part, has barely left, save the voice is only cut by
I think the
which is now quite audible to everybody.
the sooner we get out of here, the better. Because that shadow will only get stronger and influence more while we're here. We must strike quick and fast.
Do
Works for me.
Okay, this is just me not understanding my character, but can I check for traps as we go?
Yeah, sure.
I'll do better.
Do better,
I
man!
will do better. Did the trap we triggered, does it
It's a
does it
tripwire.
reset? Or did it just, is it?
I mean, given the sound that you heard, it sounded as though a tripwire had sprung. So
Okay.
but it's very unlikely that trap has the ability to reset itself.
Okay. Mayhaps we make it to that hidden doorway.
I think that is wise.
All right.
What do you think, Kel?
Do you care?
Yeah.
Enough, you two.
You guys are really settling in here. I'm not joking. Like it's feeling like maybe you've never left your seats.
I want to give Kat a few like pointers on checking traps because she hasn't
Okay.
done it before.
I
So
have it.
Give her a little primer.
check for chip wires. There's pressure plates. Look in the walls. There's gonna be holes if there's anything coming out.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of different kinds, but you got this. You just keep your eyes up.
Yes.
I'll be beside you.
Okay. Best ready ourselves in case.
Anything that looks unusual.
I'll
You'll
take
see
the
it.
block action. Actually, do you have a shield? I can.
So I will, alongside Caster. Is that what we call you?
I actually don't recall what I
I thought
said.
it was just Cass.
Cass.
There we
That's
go.
right.
Cass is great.
I'll just keep the light going and we'll slow roll it while she checks for traps.
Okay. So the remainder, as seen by Ollie, of this room is only about 30 feet or so.
Okay.
Do
Do we see any other like crates that have obviously been moved or any disturbances as we go?
As you guys move through that space, you certainly don't, given the indication that you had initially of an undusted crate, don't find any like for like there.
Gotcha.
Keeping an eye out for traps, and just given the really limited visibility, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. Do I get anything for being in your aura? I can't recall.
Nope.
No.
That's a
Okay.
saving throw.
18.
Kind of having your first taste of what to expect now, watching the crates themselves, occasionally checking just in the bloom of light for anything that might be low hanging, ready to catch an adventurer's boot toe. You don't note anything as you make your way toward the entrance, and as you arrive at the entrance, it seems you did a reasonable job as no additional shrapnel comes tearing.
As a
its way
rules
down.
lawyer, I'd like to ask that in the future, if the tools thing, that she can add a proficiency modifier because she's trained in thieves' tools, which should help with the detect traps.
Well, for disarming them, it doesn't.
Not for detecting? Okay. Is this sorry?
I mean, no, it's good
No.
banter.
Good.
There's a
Um,
feet for that.
There's a few of that.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh,
once
Dungeon
we've
Delver,
reached
I'm pretty
this,
sure.
Oh,
this new entryway, can we see the end of the room?
Yes. In fact, the room terminates, and it's that end wall that if you run to the left, that is the entry. The entryway.
Otherwise, it would be a dead end.
Otherwise, it would be a dead end. Yes.
Okay, but it isn't.
But in this case, it is.
things?
Because we flipped the switch. It's all about
Alright.
flicking that switch.
Shall we continue on in the same fashion?
Slow and steady. Let's go.
Let's just do. I will continue checking for traps.
Okay. Slow and steady as she goes, keeping a close eye on.
Don't roll
The
dice.
things-
Stop rolling dice. You don't think I know every time you roll dice? You
It's
roll dice like
coming.
crazy.
It's coming for you two now.
I know.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
As you push into the
But
next
it's kind of
room,
cool. We get to see each other's backs
there's
and
kind of a duality of emotion. As you push in, it's the whole room blooms into light, not because somehow the light is more proficient here, because the room is minuscule, a very small, what looks like maybe it had been a hidden cache in this space. As you move in, you can see a chest, iron banded. In fact, it sits open, and you can see laden with gold pieces, albeit they don't appear to be gold pieces as you know them. This seems to be a currency of some other kind, but quite clearly made of gold. You notice that chest. You also notice sitting beside it some ornate boots that lean up against the chest.
Can I throw a
This
rock?
feels like a trap.
And there is this
Also-
room a dead end?
Isn't this a
It is.
dream?
It's a small.
Mimic.
I feel mimic. An open
I
treasure.
know. Doesn't it just feel?
It
like,
feels bad.
It feels bad. I have my weapons drawn. Perhaps if we, I don't know, threw a rock at it, or
I think that's a wonderful idea.
is there anything?
What the fuck, guys?
Is
Come
there-
on, come
is
on.
there,
Astaire, why don't you give it a throw? Let's see it.
I will throw, but not at the thing. I'll throw it a rock at Kelt.
oh, for God's sake!
16. The only time I roll above a 10. 6.
Winds up as if to throw at the thing,
Can I intercept?
and instead turns.
Can I
Doesn't.
just like hold my arm in front of her, like
No.
like
No.
catch the joint? At,
No.
For I mean, you would be standing right next to Kelly. You guys were checking traps
Yes,
coming through
you
here.
too.
Give me a. Give me a dex check with disadvantage. We could play the whole game of how well did you deceive that you were throwing the.
My land.
Mylanta.
It's +10. Or
Jesus.
For your ducks.
Well, that's a dex save. Is it just...
Just check.
So it should be 5 plus 5.
So 11.
You reach out as if to kind of swat it down and probably start sending a scolding out into the chamber, but your hand doesn't quite catch.
I critted
As-
on the other one.
Oh.
As you feel a kind of a stiff blow on the back of your helmet as the stone kind of
Oops. I'm sorry. I must have missed. My fault. Let me try again.
retrieving the stone.
Did you need some pointers? Because it
No,
seems
I
like you're
got
pretty
this and I'll throw it at
incapable of a
Kel
lot
again.
of things.
Roll it.
Can I trip her as she does it?
No,
oh
we
my
don't.
lord! I just.
Did you roll 6 right there? How many did it take to get it in the tray? 4. Okay.
I-
no, I
That's
missed this
I'm
one. I missed
screaming
this
at
As she
Internally
throws the
right now.
rock, can I just like put my hand up to stop it? Because it's
Can I just
a
throw a rock
6.
at the chest and let them?
As
carry on?
as they are bickering, you pick up a.
Now you know my
And
pain.
I'm not pitching it like to
This is,
damage
well,
it.
I
I'm
like
just
this
kind
because
of-
when we go back
Okay.
to our bodies.
cocking it.
Arcing
It kind of carries a little bit of an arc, and you can hear kind of the jingle of gold being displaced as it lands amidst the other
Oh, nice.
gold inside the chest.
Aster, can you
Aster.
see if there's anything of an arcane nature that might be dangerous in here?
Can. A world casts a spell slot. I'm rather hesitant. But you know what? No. Absolutely. Time is of the essence. I know this. Why? How do you deal with this? All the time, questioning everything. As she casts, detect magic. Actually, yeah, no, I'll do detect magic. It's a level 1.
The detect magic blooms, and you feel kind of a strange sensation in your vision, looking over what you see in this room. You don't quite know what this experience is supposed to feel like, but you're a little underwhelmed.
There's nothing here.
You're expecting. I don't know what you're expecting, but you nothing seems to have changed really. In fact, there's a moment where you're wondering if you did it
I
wrong.
right? I don't see anything. I don't know if I did it right, but
Perhaps check outside and see if you can see.
I'll check outside and see if I see anything.
Peeking back out into the other chamber,
Still
blackness greets you.
I see nothing. Do I see any of the liquid dripping down?
You can.
Well, I don't see anything, but I do notice that the liquid's here too. It might interfere with my ability to see things.
Let's
But
see.
is there any liquid between me and the chest?
No.
No, I think we're safe here.
We could hear the dripping more as we got closer. Can we ascertain where that's coming from?
You can see the corner of this room beyond the chest. A shallow, kind of innocuous puddle that's formed in that room, and from the ceiling you can see a drip.
It's water.
It's water, very clearly.
Well,
And I think we should still be careful, but we should check this out. I mean,
I'll approach it with the block action, dodge action at the
I
ready.
will go shoulder to shoulder with him, and
You should
What-
probably stay back. This is kind of a man's job.
no, that's fine. I'll just stay here with my magical fucking dragon. You have fun.
You're approaching the chest or the puddle?
The chest.
Okay.
I mean, gold. I am
Uh,
still.
But
big
that makes
dragon.
me wonder more about the puddle that you asked that question.
You said, well, I'll approach it, so I want to make sure I'm not telling you. Yes,
and the puddle is beyond the chest.
The puddle is beyond the chest. It's like I said. It basically is kind of pooled into the corner of this room,
I would
which
like
is
to keep-
Ooh, it could be
maybe
used.
10 foot by 10 foot.
I would like to
room,
keep
so
an
a small
eye
room.
on it,
Okay.
like just to see for any disturbances or ripples
Gotcha.
or anything.
Cool.
As you move up to the chest, it seems to be that precisely.
I like to poke it.
The chest?
The gold.
Poke
Okay.
the gold.
You give it a few jabs, and you kind of
Sounds like gold. Maybe
Sounds
I should reach my head in and bite it.
you
Leave Rykar alone.
you kind of jostle the rock that is now sitting amidst the gold. You kind of jostling that, but I mean, by all appearances, you just seem to be poking a chest full of gold. And it's not a big chest. I mean, it's probably 1.5 feet wide by.
I mean, we're in a dreamscape, right? It's not like this is coming back with us.
I mean, you never know.
We don't
You could be
know.
better safe than sorry.
Let's just say we don't understand all of this. I would
Can
not be
I-
surprised.
Can I look at the boots a little closer? Are they
They're not giving off any magical aura, are they?
They're not
are they ornate or
quite.
masculine, feminine?
Just from a material standpoint, they're very rigid, and actually, as you're looking them over, kind of a heavier weight material. They do seem to be. It's kind of hard to tell what the finish material is on the outside, but it appears to have.
Snake skin.
It appears to have. Yeah, it appears to be scaled.
Oh, hell yeah. They're cowboy boots, aren't they? Fucking
Um,
cowboy boots.
The
they have a heel.
they don't have a proper heel, but you can see they're kind of heavily reinforced in the front, and that's the portion where kind of the snake skin. And when I say snake skin, I mean this is a heavy scale, not a supple thing, but
Looks like some boots for these fine feet. So let me take a look.
You gonna just grab them?
Are you
Put 'em
just
up?
gonna grab?
Do they look?
As he warms up his dice
I
rolling
know,
hands.
right?
I just had an itch.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
I did not get any magical aura off of it.
Well, it's your body. I don't want to like stick you with something that.
Give me syphilis or something? Jesus.
Can I check the
Damn it.
chest?
Dude,
That's gonna be a character arc.
boots of syphilis? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. You've been reading my notes.
No, you do what you want. Seriously. If you want to put them on, put them on. It's D&D, baby.
Yeah, but it's not my character. So.
Oh. Just
You know
don't
what I mean?
try not
Like-
to kill.
Well, I'm definitely not gonna get you killed. Well, I
So
hope.
You
we're
can
good.
name, but don't kill.
No, sir. As long as I have like, no, we're good. No, have fun. Do it.
What I mean, whether you're putting them on or not, are you collecting the boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take them. Are you going to wear them? Or do you want to see if they'll leave the dreamscape first?
Yeah, let's do that.
I will.
I'm still me after all, so caution.
I'll pick them up.
The boots? Okay. They feel like boots.
Oh boy!
Those are some nice
I will
boots.
put them into the back.
Maybe
Okay.
it's like we'll have to cross something, and those boots are the only things that can cross the thing. You know?
Are you guys collecting any of the gold?
Most likely.
Yeah. As I was.
Sorry.
Are you rolling any d20s over there as we say we're gonna collect the gold? No, let's fucking do it. We're adventurous.
Do you think there's like a pressure plate underneath that we need to put an equally weighted item on top?
But
as
we have
we're
to weigh it out first, like
Damn
ball
it!
some sand.
You know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck this campaign.
Can is it just small enough that I could just take the whole?
Yeah, how
thing
big
and
it
put
You
is
it
could
in
take the
my
whole.
bag?
Again, it's probably 18 inches, maybe 2 feet wide by about a foot deep.
Oh, yeah, we
I'll
made
do
a
that.
bunch of room in the bag of holding. So
Okay.
yeah, you should just.
I'll
throw
just
that
take the whole chest.
Yeah.
As you go to collect it up, you do notice that there is a ring sitting amidst the gold.
Is it pretty?
Now, do I see any aura coming off the ring?
No.
God damn it, Tom. Why did I waste a spell slot on this?
Can I wear the ring?
Reward me.
I don't know.
I
It's
like really fancy
fucking dumb thing to do if you ask me.
I think we should probably
When I'm back to my
assess
own
this-
body,
yeah,
I mean,
assess
like.
it later.
The band carries the same scaled texture as the boots.
Ooh, this sounds fun.
Oh, they're a
He's gonna walk
pair.
around in
You would be the most fashionable paladin.
I hope it's white snakeskin. You know,
It's-
really
it's not.
shiny.
You don't have to hope. You're looking at it right now. It's not.
All right, fine.
It's a beautiful emerald green.
Albino snakeskin.
No.
No.
Oh.
Okay,
We'll talk about this after this.
so
Um, so basically, we have acquired these items.
Yep. The gold to a count of 218 gold
Oh.
pieces.
we can retire.
Um,
And leave
the-
us life of something
and
we're
again,
doing.
I will say those gold pieces are not. I mean, you look at them; they are clearly a currency that would be unrecognized in broader.
But it's
But
gold.
they are gold.
It is clearly
so
gold. Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
That'll convert. I mean, we can use that.
You can convert gold.
I'm saying it's gold. Gold is gold is gold.
It's true. A equals A.
Doesn't matter what's stamped on it.
With that though, the room, aside from the drip in the puddle, remains empty. That essentially was. I mean,
Oh.
much like the other room, you can see a couple of discarded crates and barrels, but they have diminished to rotted wood. In this room, with a little bit more moisture, you can see that a lot of the wood components have rotted. Like, you can see two bands that you're confident at some point were part of a barrel.
Right.
There's just no wood left anymore.
Can I take some of the rotted wood and like poke the puddle?
Sure. Picking it up and kind of jabbing at it, you
Do I hit the bottom or?
oh yeah, it's probably a half-inch deep. It's a very, very shallow puddle.
Can I grab? You have vials on you, don't you?
Um,
Yeah, I'll grab some vials and I'll collect some of the puddle.
Okay.
Yeah, this darkness, whatever it is.
Well, it's just water. I mean, it doesn't look dark like the other
Oh,
stuff.
I
This
thought
is
it was-
clearly water.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Do we have 10 minutes to spare?
No.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
Call your shot.
I really believe we are not in a prime position. We would get cornered.
That thing is coming. And we don't want to be sitting here doing rituals or whatever.
Here's
it
the
is that
thing.
you're doing.
If there's a means of protection you would like to offer us, in its stead, we could probably consider that. But
If we're coming up on water, I was looking through my spell book and I saw something that I've never seen Aster cast, but Aster sees value in. I could make his ability to water breathe for 8 hours. Not concentration, just there.
Why? For the puddle?
I'm sorry, I see water and I just think it's better to be prepared than not. I'm English now, and I think it's better that we do this. Now, if you don't want to, I don't care. I'm just telling you what I think. God damn it! And he goes off, and it starts to immolate, and
You can see a smoldering embers begin to rise off of Aster's angsty
Aster's.
teen form. Aster's angsty teen form.
is that no, never mind that.
trying to help.
I imagine if
No, you're right.
Aster-
It's probably this. You don't need to, but
focus up. I need you to focus. If
What?
we have reached an area that's leaking, good focusing.
it's hard to see you.
I know, right?
Go ahead.
This is why we're.
I'm making eye contact.
Could it be that there's a reservoir or a river or something?
That's
above
my
us?
thought. Is and if there is a trap that I don't know fills a thing with water and we could all drown, I'm just saying it might be nice. God, I'm
You
really
were doing-
weird.
you were
You're
doing
going
it
there.
Very English.
You're,
Yeah.
you're doing your Balin Smith.
And that is Valen Smith. I just think it'd be nice to be able to breathe water. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you may do as you wish, Aster. But I
I'm
think we
going
should.
to do it.
I think we should.
I'm gonna take
press
10
on.
minutes and I'm gonna cast water breathing.
Can I lift her onto my back so she can do the ritual on my back while we move forward?
And I could go on Ollie and not be a big deal. We can keep moving. As
No,
I
it's
cast a
important
ritual.
that I do this.
Okay, I'll get on. I'll gill up on Kelt.
Is that even a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
It is.
Why not?
Don't you have like material?
I'll tell you
like-
what I need you to do if you're doing that is I'm going to need an Arcana check.
Okay.
Hey.
Illustrate blessings.
Illustrate blessings.
Now that I do get a 1d4 on.
Well, I want to make. I'm going
Managed
to.
it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, you're not gonna add anything. 14 plus 9 is 23.
Well, that's taking 10 minutes. So what are you guys doing as?
We're checking for traps,
Bubble
right?
slide.
And I'll be your light. And...
we are. I assume we have no choice but to go the other route.
Oh, does this dead end? I can't remember.
Yeah,
where
this
we're
room
at.
is a dead end.
Oh.
Aside from the leak.
Give me 10 minutes. We can breathe through it. The small puddle. We can explore it fully.
Guess shrink self. And just have a little swim.
As I go drunk with power.
This will be my new home.
No, yeah.
Do you want to maybe just check and see if there's any? I mean, it's a smuggler's den. Maybe there's some secret
Yes,
passage.
I mean, well, I
We
believe
did get killer
found
boots.
the secret.
But maybe
But
there's
where
a
do we
secret
But it's
within
a
this secret.
tunnel.
You see, I think I was a smuggler in another life because this
You have
place calls to me.
You have your memories. Well, you know, I trust your instinct.
You just never know.
Shall we peruse the cargo?
Yeah, I'll thump Aster down and we'll go look.
Boom should I? Boom should I? Boom should I?
So I will help Cass. Just
You're disposing of Aster. Give me another arcana check. Oh, I'm sorry, a concentration check.
With a thump.
11 plus concentration.
Yeah.
Am I within your aura?
Yeah.
All right, so 6. So 17.
And what are you doing?
I'm just gonna help you look for.
I guess, given Kel's skill set, sniffing would be useful, and maybe lifting things up and looking around and opening things.
You're talking about in the long storage room?
In the long storage room,
Okay.
Do I feel confident in my trap checking abilities?
Do you feel confident?
I do. So I'm probably going to, let's see. This is flush. Yeah, let's just kind of go up the row here and see, if we can look in the cargo.
And you're specifically going through the cargo? Okay. Having passed through the room once, there's enough cargo in the room that probably checking through everything, and that's I'll call that a hasty check through everything, not popping every single lid, but you probably have a half hour's worth of work ahead of you if that's what you.
Then let's not. What if we just did one side, the side we're on?
The side that already had the secret door along it? Okay. It's probably 10 minutes or so about the same
Okay,
period of time.
let's do that.
He's coming.
He rolled a dice. Okay. Is there anything of value in them? I mean, I do now see the value of having timber or just lumber. If there's any decent wood pieces, I'll stow them.
Okay.
But
I mean, there so much of this. I don't know if you call it decent wood pieces, but they're wood pieces. I mean, like I said, the wood here seems so old and brittle that you could most of these pieces, if you had a hold of it, you could break
or
it
fire
down.
starter, not less kindling or less.
Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah, we'd probably burn like crazy.
All right, I'll take a little bit.
Okay. And you're sitting in the puddle room doing your ritual while they're checking.
No, I thought they brought me into the room.
He's like
and
at the
then they threw
mouth
me
of
down.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She's. Is there anything in
It's so
these crates?
confusing.
Quite the same as you've already seen. It looks like at some point this had maybe been a storehouse for, again, whether it was rations, grain, but the crates all seem to contain some variety of food stock. You do come across one of the larger crates, which has some like old, almost looks like woolen blankets. But even those, as you go to pick it up, they almost like dissolve in your hand. They're so worn or aged, I guess. I mean, you over the course of that time, you don't note anything really that grabs your attention as being not, mundane.
Well, Kelt, I think I feel confident we're not going to find anything of value in here. As 10 minutes or so go by, I'll go back to Aster.
It's the most prima donna.
You're the most teenager.
As you guys are working through those crates and you are actively shaping much like that, the corner of your eye, you
No technique whatsoever.
catch what is and has been a termination of just shadow blackness. You watch as something kind of twists and reels, not aggressively necessarily, but kind of moving in little starts and fits in your direction. I give you the option if you want to continue your ritual or not, but it is creeping out of that corner and is very clearly moving toward you.
Which corner?
The adjacent corner to where the puddle was, so the back corner of the room that had the chest.
Can I? It's either I do a ritual or I do something else. Can I do anything and the ritual?
No, I mean you'll have to cease doing the ritual if you're
I'll
going
do
to
the ritual. If I put this much time into it.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Uh,
Big fucking thing.
As you continue working through the ritual, you watch as this thing shifting and twitching kind of stops. It's kind of hunched slightly and leaning over. I mean, you can really only see kind of the stalk of it rising up, but you can feel kind of it leering over you. And in a moment, you watch as it kind of lowers itself down, kind of pseudo. It's if it had legs to cross, kind of crossed alongside you, and you can feel that same kind of cold air sensation that you got dripping from the ceiling as it leans in, kind of almost resting what I'll call its chin, its face, along your shoulder. And as kind of that same kind of face peeling back, you hear a piercing scream, and it's one that you recognize well.
That I recognize, or that it's back in my memories.
You have to dredge
Okay.
deeply to find it. It's but it's not a scream that you are unfamiliar with. It's
okay.
a sound that kind of pierces consciousness itself. The scream fades, as does the thing, and you think to yourself, like,
What the fuck was that?
yeah, that was odd.
Yeah.
And go to stand, realizing, oh, I'm done. This
Right.
is, and you
can
realize
breathe
you're
in water.
already on your feet.
Okay. So I'm in the mid. Am
and-
I in a different environment now?
You are still shrouded in darkness.
Okay.
And as you kind of turn back through that entryway that had led in here, there is no entryway to move through. There is just an elongated corridor.
All right. Whatever you want, make it known. I know you hear me.
You can hear and you can see way beyond vision of blackness a kind of dull crimson pulse that fades back into the black.
Okay.
It's been some time.
Does this sound different than the whisper from the... Is this a different voice than the other thing? I've never heard this, right?
This is a voice
Make
you
a
do
list.
not recognize.
It's been a new time. This is... Who are you?
Come to me.
Okay. All right. And I'll start heading towards the...
As you
I'm not going to learn anything staying where I am.
step in that direction, there's the weird sense of moving through water or mud or
I can breathe in
a-
water.
Damn it, I'm foiled.
Not again.
The strange dreamlike sense of knowing you are more capable than your body is allowing you to be as
Right.
you move. It's about the fourth step forward that you feel a heavy lurch, kind of the walls kind of drawing in to the point that now feeling kind of to either side, you could reach a hand out and touch the walls. A much closer now pulse of this kind of crimson energy.
What are you? You are different then. How? What are you?
Come to me.
I am here. Tell me what you are.
Another pulse, brighter this time, and you feel the walls crush into the point now that you're having to hunch. You can kind of put a forearm, an elbow up to the wall. You hear the scream again, a woman's scream. She's crying. She is pleading desperately with someone. You can hear the slam of heavy something metal on metal as a smash. You hear a man's voice scream. They're coming! You hear the woman scream again, pleading, crying, begging. That kind of fades to the back as the whisper returns. You reached to me. Now I'm reaching back. Come to me.
Can I go forward?
You do whatever you want.
I will learn nothing staying here. All right. Let's see what goes on.
Hunching, and now kind of it's a every appendage movement through this space, kind of hunching, getting very close now. You can feel a rush of air, the smell. It's a difficult thing, especially you're just growing accustomed. The smell of arcane energy as it rushes down, kind of a hot electrical burn kind of a smell. Raising your head up, finally finding some room, you stand in a dimly lit, bathed in this crimson light. You can see this chrysalis, this meters tall, maybe 30, 40 feet in height. Crimson crystal seems to hover, just swaying, bobbing ever so slightly above the ground.
Do it. Can I? I'll inspect the crystal.
Okay. In what fashion?
Runes.
It's roughly hewn. I mean, it's.
Can I identify can I identify what mineral it's made out of? Is it a quartz? Is it a diamond? Is it?
It is very clearly of an unnatural origin. Nothing that you would acknowledge from the material plane.
I'll put my hand on it.
Reaching out, you can feel your body betray your mind. And whereas you have absolutely no problem reaching out and touching this, you can feel the fibers of muscle tissue doing everything in their power to just buy a moment. But as it happens, the mind, in this case, is the master of the body. And as your hand touches it, you can feel kind of a vibration, a heat, not dissimilar from that same kind of electric feel, that smell, almost noxious now, the potent smell of the arcane swelling up around you. And from inside the crystal, you can see kind of the heavy silhouetted three-fingered hand place against your own. And as it does, the crystal bursting into that same light, pulsing through this room. You blink, and you are confident you can breathe underwater.
I knew I could do it. Man, rituals are crazy. I didn't know they had all that stuff associated with them.
No wonder it takes 10 minutes.
The three hand, was it a claw?
it was so heavily. It was almost like seeing it through fogged glass as it,
Well, you know
placed
what I
it.
mean? Was it like was it a claw? Could did it have pads? You know what I'm saying?
It was definitively hooked, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But more or less, if you were to take your hand like this,
Like a live long and prosper.
for much more elongated
Okay.
on all appendages.
Okay.
But you could see kind of the hooked nails, claws, what have you, as it placed against yours on the other side.
Does
of
it
this.
going into the recesses of my mind? Does this, or even looking at Ollie, looking at how Ollie's hands are? Does this look familiar at all?
Again, I mean, it's a very obscure
Okay.
visage
All right.
of what this thing was.
Okay, I'll drop it. All right, sweet. Kel will run into the guys.
You mean Esther?
Esther, I need you to know something just happened. We can
What?
now breathe underwater.
Is that all?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that we can breathe underwater, I will.
I want a once over.
Why would you? What?
Because you haven't been excited about anything for like the
I've
past
casted a
hour.
ritual. All right, fine.
Can I inspect
Very
the
unusual.
room?
Well, real quick, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what if looking at you
Yeah.
would someone see? What would?
You can probably see beads of sweat.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we'll see how she rolls, and I'll go into it more.
Is
Well,
that,
I may not even need a roll. If that experience was not one that you would have to wear, then
It is probably, but also trying to conceal. So there is a concealment.
go ahead and give me an insight check for.
can I? Well, I guess.
I don't know what you roll.
21.
Man. Okay.
You can roll the deception, but
Yeah.
Here, I want to look.
Deceive.
Yeah, even with my baller 15. Yeah, no.
Oh, you rolled a 5.
Ain't no deception going on.
I mean, I think you can see that as Astaire returns from the room, there's
Seem
a
off.
Would it stop me in my tracks? Because I know what it's like to go through that. And
I mean,
isn't
it would
that-
just depend on what and I would say what you're seeing, again, could potentially concern you, but I would not say you have any inkling of,
like.
you
Is
know,
it
that
that-
comes down to how well Kel's wearing it, or Kel in her body is wearing
Astaire.
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 Well, I wasn't looking you over very much anyway. I would like to go to the little room with the puddle, and I'd like to inspect the wall that it's leaking from. Can I do that without getting into the water?
It's leaking from the ceiling, but yeah, you
Oh.
could.
From the ceiling. Yeah, I kind of want to see, like, is it does it look like it's going to? Is it just like a foundational weakening, or is it
You can.
intentional?
So the ceiling here, you can see certain areas, many areas in the ceiling have been reinforced by stone, and you can see that the leak seems to be coming very definitively from a crack between two stones. Not a cracked stone, but where two stones would meet. You can see from that same area some small kind of corded vines that are just beginning to poke through, whether they be roots or vines or something, but something vegetative that's starting to poke through that same area. But beyond that, there doesn't seem to be anything.
Guys,
Well-
come here.
All right. What do your real guys see?
My bro, guys. I believe we are under the jungle. They clearly reinforced the ceiling here.
Well, if I recall correctly, we should be in the city, so it'd be weird that we're in the jungle.
Well, I can't say we're in the jungle, but you see that foliage.
Okay. What should we do about it?
Well, the way I see it, I can find a way to go up, or we go back the other way.
Does it look like the earth has been moved around that area?
No. I'd say very clearly the stones that have been placed here are unmoved. But
If I understand the purpose of the tunnel is we want the surface is more dangerous than the tunnel. I don't want to go to the surface.
Okay.
Of course, I don't want to speak for the group, but
No, I think you're right. Are we heading back then?
Unless you have something else you'd like to do, that's the only route I can.
we got to go
select
towards the
us.
sweet smell, if I understand correctly.
That's sweet, sweet, sweet.
This has been a fun little side adventure. We got some boots, and a ring, and some gold.
Boots and rings of gold
Oh my.
and trauma.
Well,
What?
2 out of 3 trauma.
Well, it's D&D.
Here's your trauma and loot.
heading back towards the initial junction.
That junction, yeah.
Okay. As
Check for traps.
Yeah,
You're-
right.
I'll take point.
heading back that way, you are still glowing. Lightbringer is
Weapons
still.
are still out. I will continue checking for traps on our way. I've learned my lesson.
Pushing your way back through the
No, you don't need to do
through the
that.
cavern. I just got to do something real quick here.
You just gotta do something.
As you approach the initial junction,
I can do it too.
there is a instant where things go completely black. You feel hard as you are trying to project luminance into this space. You watch as the flames, you can almost hear kind of like the minuscule screams, the suffering of flame itself as they extinguish on the blade, and you can feel whatever tether you usually draw from to project this light fails you. As you kind of flicker momentarily, the pulse kind of wanes. Fighting back, you can see more and more of this black darkness manifest, slopping down off of the ceiling. The passages seeming narrower now as they have grown encased in this darkness. And as you fight to maintain that light, all of the corridors go pitch black and like thunder rolling through the chamber.
Now the test begins.
And that, unfortunately, is where we need to end tonight's session. But we really appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
Anything you guys have to say to those beautiful people at home?
Oh my gosh, stay tuned.
I want to know what
I
happens.
don't know. What is cat's trauma?
I know. Next time on.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you being here. We love all that engagement down in the comments, all that engagement, really any and everywhere. You guys have been truly awesome in helping us grow the channel and supporting what we do. So thank you so much for joining us this time. Until next time, the world is yours.